does it help recurring merchants? And similar question, does it help one-time merchants or one-time purchase merchants? So for recurring, absolutely. So, if you're familiar with that space, you know that there's a consumer initiated transaction and a merchant initiated transaction. And so as long as you have these both in your system and they go back 120 days, then it'll work as long as you're storing the right data. We talked about that in previous videos. And so make sure you've got all the data. Then whenever maybe it's a ping on a recurring transaction, you can go back to the initial transaction and use some of that data to supplement what you have on the recurring transaction. And that's all within the specs, so it's okay. So I think that'll work really good for those kind of merchants. Now, for more one-time purchase or one-off, if you have recurring transactions, or sorry, wrong word. If you have recurring purchases by the same customer, then it doesn't have to be the same product as long as it's with you in the same merchant account. So, maybe you get a chargeback on a product today that was sold, a few days ago. As long as you have transactions from that same credit card on the same merchant account with matching info going back past 120 days that were not disputed as fraud, then again, it should work. So, I think it'll actually help a lot of merchants. I think the biggest problem is going to be the data that's provided. So, another question was like, kind of, where does it fit within the ecosystem of all these different tools for fraud? And what kind of fraud is it going to take care of? And so really, mostly it helps friendly fraud. So it's only the 10.4s that it impacts. And then additionally, if you look at, where it fits, you still have your anti-fraud up front, your pre-transaction things. You actually need it because you need to collect data. So you need things like IP. And then the next kind of phase would be in that post-transaction. And this can fit in there, like it fits within the Visa Verify suite of products. So, you've got Order Insight is kind of the information gathering stage. And then if the issuer still decides it's a chargeback and they select 10.4, then CE can kick in. And, then there's also, of course, you have different alert services with, the Verify or Ethoca. And the alert, that actually happens before compelling evidence, because compelling evidence happens when the issuer actually presses chargeback. So if you have, say, CDRN or Ethica alerts, depending on the brand in this case, then if it's Visa, CDRN would then jump in and take care of that chargeback there. Then if that doesn't work, CE could kick in, and then it can go down to RDR and then inform if you get a chargeback or a fraud alert. So hope that helps. Let me know if your question wasn't answered, and we'll do more videos. So thanks a lot.